Hi, my name is WinSlaya, and welcome to my 5 Tops Tips video for the Stellaris 2.6 update and the Federation's DLC, which are coming out tomorrow, March 17th, 2020. And yeah, I just got this key, the press key for this game about 5 hours ago, so I don't have a whole lot of experience with this version of the game, but I'm pretty familiar with Stellaris in general, and I have been following the development of this update and the DLC quite closely. I've been watching a lot of the streams by the developers and by other content creators who got the key a little bit earlier over the past few weeks, and I've been reading a lot of the dev diaries to try and pick out all the cool little things that people may not have seen right away, and something that you wouldn't have seen initially but really does change the game quite significantly. So yeah, I think we're ready to jump into my first tip, which is filibustering. So let's put down our Federation menu and pull up this stuff. If we are looking at the Galactic Community tab, which you can find by clicking this right here, we'll see there's a list of a bunch of things being proposed. And if you don't want to vote on something, you can try and support something that you can take over the points. Unfortunately, I only have 1,000 diplomatic weight, so I can't like take something like this and put it over that. If I oppose this, it takes the points down by my level. If I abstain, it keeps it at a certain level. If I support it, it goes up. Opposing and abstaining apparently don't have any effect on this. They're pretty much the same. But yeah, if I try to support this, I can try and boost it up further up in the positioning here. Let's try and find a thing that I could do that with. If I support you, yeah, you jump to ahead of this. If I don't want this to go through, if say I don't want other people getting research, or maybe my starbase upkeep is out of control, then I can try and push that further down in the line of things that people meet and vote on, because they only meet, I think, every 5 years or so. That looks like about half of 10 years. Yeah, so they meet every 5 years or so, and if you want to push things up the queue, you do it like that by supporting them, and that's called filibustering. I mean, that's a pretty common concept here in American politics. We have that happen in, I think, like the Congress or the House of Representatives, and it's basically when somebody talks for as long as possible so that things don't move forward. And by pushing this stuff forward, while people may want to vote for this, if it doesn't have enough support, it may never get voted on. It may be pushed back forever and ever and ever and ever. So that is a nice little fun strategy that you can pursue, and something that you may have missed if you weren't paying too close attention to the changes. The next tip is try out playstyles that you considered less than optimal. I know a lot of people really didn't like things like Philosopher King or the subservient species, but I think that those have gone through a lot of cool changes to make them more competitive. So let's see, what did I choose with this one? Did I choose anything that people used to hate? No, this is something that I wanted to try out because one of my viewers in Steam, or in the stream, excuse me, really likes technocracy, meritocracy, and for that reason, we're going to hop out of this save for just a second to kind of show off some of the modifiers that you can get with the Philosopher King setting. So if I go in here and I go to edit, we could choose Philosopher King. Of course, we need different things for this. We need to be dictatorial or imperial, and that would make it so that our leaders no longer get negative traits when they level up. That's a massive change. I know that the hive minds, they get something similar, but it has a secondary modifier that's slightly different. At least I thought they did. Where is it? leaders are less likely to gain negative traits. So you get plus 15% unity or that if you're playing Hive Mind, or if you're like playing a normal organic, you could go and take this to get ruler level cap. I prefer the unity, to be honest. I'd probably go with Hive Mind if I was going to choose between those two. And then if you're going to play a machine, then you've got an option that is very different. It actually doesn't I think people would have thought that, you know, these immortal leaders that can break over time would have been a little bit too good if you if they couldn't get negative traits, so they gave them something else. I can't find it right now. You can get more leaders with that, but I thought there was another one that affects leaders. I'm not seeing it in here. I mean, that boosts your unity, and that isn't, yeah, nearly as good as the other stuff. So yeah, take a quick look at things that you consider less than optimal. Some of the things that were really good are no longer quite as good. I forgot to check if meritocracy or the megacorps had anything quite like that, but there's probably one in here that affects your leaders. This, yeah, affects your leaders, but it doesn't make it so they can't get bad things when they level up. I would suggest playing around with things like that. I know people really hated criminal heritage, but I have a feeling that one probably got some changes because it's a cool idea. It's a different way to play. Next tip, we're ready to talk about trying out new playstyles. So you don't have to play anything quite like this. You could go for one of the newer origins like Scion. Scion's really powerful. I saw I think Gaming FDL has a cool video up on YouTube where he played as a Scion and got a 7k fleet in the first 10 years. So really good. And I also like the idea of the one where you are in a hegemony. That sounds really fun and pretty powerful, actually, having people doing your bidding. I think if you had on Grand Admiral settings, they could end up pushing your empire to be as competitive as the other ones without you necessarily having all the strength yourself, and you'd have to take advantage of the AI. I did see some changes in the way the AI fought wars, so maybe subjects are better. I think subjects are better. So yeah, there is a federation type called Hegemony. That's one of the things you can choose in here. There's another one that lets you start in the Federation. Yeah, you start with the Federation, but the other one's right next to here. Yeah, Hegemon. I think that would be really cool. Do I want to just start with this just to show it off? Yeah, you get to be criminal heritage. Oh, they can do diplomacy now. So I could have him be in charge of a hegemony, and then could I like set up things there? Oh, I need to select an ethics. Sure. No. Megacorps. Wait, hegemony. Yes. Let's see, why won't you let me do things? Oh, because it's on Megacorp. It's fine. We'll just... I'm so confused. Oh, yes, here we go. Now we can go in here, press done, and show off what the hegemony looks like, because it will be slightly different than the other one that that we were just looking at a second ago. We want medium, play. I'll take just 2 seconds to load this up. But I have a feeling this is going to be pretty powerful. Then again, a lot of things have been changed so that they're more powerful, and if everything is more powerful, then it's just balanced, right? I don't know. I have a feeling this is going to be really good. You got 3-star bases instead of 1. They're going to expand. I can expand. And since we are in a hegemony, we get access to some cool stuff like this. I don't know how you change the type of your federation, but I think there is a way to do that. Why would we do that when we are so strong? Our diplomatic weight is less than our vassals. I'm sure that's not a problem. Here it is. There's the Federation types. So yeah, we can't switch out of this. Hegemony is only accessible by certain types. Anyways, I think we're ready to talk about the next tip, ethics alignment. These guys are all xenophile, materialist, and no, authoritarian. They're not the same as me. And that is probably going to cause some issues for our federation. You want ethics alignment because if you don't have your ethics aligning, then you lose cohesion over time. And while you can go in here and assign a guy in here to try and boost that, if you don't have enough envoys, you won't be able to get experience in your federation. That's a really big deal. If you look here at the numbers, we're getting the cohesion impact is minus 1.0. If I didn't have the guy on this, I think it would be smaller. So yeah, it'd be bigger rather. The negative impact on our federation. This cohesion number was -2 a second ago, and there's other things in here which are losing cohesion. I think because we're in charge of a hegemony, it just in general has pretty low cohesion, but you want this cohesion to go up because once you get to certain levels of experience points, you get access to cooler things. Like, they're all going to be different for the different federations, but they're all pretty good, so you want them. I think we can switch over to our other game now to kind of talk about other stuff. The last tip, and well, a little bit more ethics alignment, because I think we had some ethics alignment here in this game with our federation member. We kind of show off the difference as well as the last tip. Alright, so where's our federation? Here it is. Yes, we took him up to level 2, so now we have more naval camp in our federation fleet, which we don't have at this point. We need to pass a law to get that going, but that would lower our cohesion. It all kind of plays together in a federation to affect your experience and all these nice little bonuses that you get. New members won't crush your cohesion, because yeah, when you take in new people, that hurts. I do like this one. This is the generic one. It's pretty good because the diverse ethics penalty is less severe, and that makes it easier just to get all kinds of nations into your federation, not just the ones that you impose your ideology on. And let's see, this guy, he's a spiritualist, a warring spiritualist, and we are a materialist, an authoritarian materialist. We're nothing alike, so the fact that we were able to get them to like us is pretty special. I improved relations with them, and almost got this joke point, but still was able to keep them from being an issue by, you know, having too much border friction. But yeah, if we didn't have that little thing right there from this generic thing, I don't know if our federation would work very well together. I think research cooperative they may not enjoy very much. I may have had more weight if I did that. I'm not sure if in the future they're going to make it so that people who wouldn't benefit from a certain federation won't go for those ones, but I think I could have forced him into a research thing. But right now they're way more powerful. We just started to kind of overtake some AIs in the victory tab, so we're definitely at the point where we might overtake them and become more powerful, but I don't know the game well enough to guarantee that I would become stronger than them at this point in the game. Now, the last tip is strike crafts are a lot better. While I don't have any ships that can use them, I do have a starbase with a hangar module, so we can go in here and just kind of look at the numbers a little bit. I believe these numbers used to be a lot smaller in general, and if you look up the dev diary notes, I know that this would be in there. These kinds of details, they can get lost in the text, the wall of text. So I always like them. They're great at protecting trade, but on top of that, they got the ability to make like your bigger ships act like smaller ships, and that allows you to kind of counter smaller ships. So I'm a pretty big fan of them in general. I also like that if you take the hangar, the strike craft technology, then you're less likely to open up more things. If we go in here, when you take kinetics and you go down the kinetic weapons path, it opens up a lot of little things like large cannons and, oh boy, I can't remember, flak stuff. And it's just generally better to go for the strike craft, because it's not going to flood your options with things that you don't really want. You'll only see the text that you want if you go for the hangars. So I think in general you should probably give hangars a try. I was pretty close to doing that in this one, but I got tested. The changes here made it so that my nation was under a lot of pressure, or maybe I just didn't play very well. I haven't played too much recently. Anyways, those are my 5 tips for the new Stellaris DLC and the update. Hope you enjoyed watching, and yeah, I guess if you're here, you probably did. Thanks for the view. If you want to leave me a like or subscribe or share my video on Twitter, all those things are really, really helpful and help the channel grow. I'll see you around. Have a good one.